Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and I mean, it's still, you guys know we tape these different times throughout the day, and then we kind of podcast piece them together for you. But most of the time, we record the day that you actually hear it. Almost every day. And but anyway, I went home for lunch, and I decided I was going to have one of my daughter's turkey hot dogs. They're the ones made by Ballpark. I'm virtually certain most people know what these are. It says like smoked turkey hot dog.
Yeah.
But it's really just like pressed turkey meat, right? It's just like tinier lunch meat, right? That's exactly what I'm eating.
It's just I think it's the leftovers in the turkey plant.
They just swoosh it into a hot dog.
Yeah. That's what I think.
And as soon as I opened the cabinet, a jumbo bottle of Texas Pete hot sauce fell, hit me in the head, and then exploded all over the kitchen.
Oh, really?
So I really didn't get to eat. I got, you can see it. It's on my bottom of my pants all over them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was just covered.
Texas Pete.
And it got all over me. And then so I had to, wipe it all down. It got in every nook and cranny of the pantry. It got on a brand new roll of paper towels that we have. It went all in there, all over the paper towels because, when you rip the bag open. And you set them on, you got all over that. It got in the dog food, all over the dog food.
Oh, that'll make it better.
Yeah, that'll make the diarrhea for Caesar. He already has diarrhea. Just put Texas Pete all over his dog food, you idiot. Andrea comes down because I scream like a baby, by the way. Anytime anything hits me in the head, and it's happened a lot lately. Over here at Publix Liquors, I'm buying some, I was getting some, what do you call it? The
tampons.
I was getting tampons at Publix Liquors. Yeah. Well, I was gonna do the vodka tampon.
Yeah.
And I got a 6-pack of ginger beer for my wife, who drinks like old lady drinks now. She drinks what Granny Beth drinks. And it fell off the shelf, and the whole thing just kabongs me on the head, and I screamed like a woman. So anyway, that's what I was doing. I just wanted to make sure I said that, just in case you and Butler were like, it smells like hot sauce. It's me. I smell like hot sauce. Although black people say that wet white people smell like hot sauce. Or no, they say onions.
Dogs.
It's onions.
Yeah.
Smell like onions.
Well,
and they're not wrong.
Isn't all BO smell like onions? No.
White people that get rained on have a very distinct onion smell.
I thought that BO, I used to call it Italian BMT because it was like it was like the dressing that you put on onions and your veggies on top. It was like a vinegary, oniony.
Well, there's a lot of things that have a pungent smell, but we eat them.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes if I ever do get BO, which is rare, it'll smell like a delicious Italian sub because I equate it with the onions.
Like a dog's feet smell like Fritos. Why is that? There's a lot of weird...
Yeah. Smells are
What's up with smells? What's up with smells, guys? Hey,
it's a miracle.
Hey. Wow. Smell that? I wish it would look... But nobody does that. Are we supposed to do that with our lives?
What?
I mean, especially now. I've been seeing a lot of people that are like, hey, man, now more than ever, I'm really grateful for, what I got. But you never see anybody go like,
that's short-lived.
Wow, I have this thing on my face that I can inject particles from other stuff into it, and it will instantly tell my brain.
Yeah. Well, my brain will tell my nose what it's
my nose delivers the smells. The neuron, it has to send a shot up to your brain, right? And then your brain's like, yeah, that smells. That's Cheetos. That's cheese.
Not sure exactly how it works, but yeah, your brain analyzes all these tiny particles of smell. It is pretty impressive. Although you can't. There's some people that have worse sense of smell than others. Butler has a acute sense of smell where he'll smell like doo-doo particles from days prior.
Yeah, he can smell a lot of things.
Yeah.
He's like the blade of smell.
Which I feel like you don't want. But Butler, get in here. Let's talk about your...
Oh, he seems like he doesn't want to talk about this. Let's talk about your superpower.
Yeah. It's the worst
worst.
Yeah. To me, you don't want a extreme smell because we give a lot of credit to dogs and that have dogs can smell 500 times.
I don't give them any credit for that. It's just a fact. I don't look at Caesar and be like, "Good job, you get a lot of credit for having a better nose than me."
Well, we find it impressive that they can sniff out bombs and bomb residue and
what's really impressive? What I do every day. Walking, doing,
upright. Taxes.
Yeah, I can do all kinds of stuff.
So
I can brush my teeth so I don't look like buttered corn, Caesar the dog.
But of all superpowers, seems like the worst for a human because you're constantly smelling bad things. Like, does it enhance the things you eat? Like when you eat something delicious, does it taste better?
I would say they definitely it enhances a bit of the flavor, but it can also destroy it as well.
Okay, yeah.
Well, let's talk about what you threw out today.
Cat food.
Well, a lot of people, I don't think they understand that when we say cat food, we're not talking about actual cat food, but Butler, his wife, and she's a wonderful human being, packs him every day like a really well thought out, planned out lunch. Like normally you and I are like fly by the seat of, what do I have, spit all over my, oh my God, what is that?
A little Texas Pete.
No, it's like a booger.
I think it's some of my cat food.
I have did I have jaw whip?
No,
Did I get that thing? Like
you had it on your lip. I just didn't. I'm bad at
why didn't you tell me?
Because I'm bad at telling people. I don't want people to feel bad.
Well, I'm on camera right now, for Christ's sake. You tell me if there's cat food on my lip.
I saw it right away, sir, and I...
Thank you, but pizza party.
I don't tell people.
God.
I don't want them to feel bad.
Nobody in the chat room. You didn't say anything either, chat room. Anyway.
Just so you know your real friend.
So his wife makes him this nice, like, virtually a gourmet, and typically it's like a rice and veggie meal.
It's a rice. There's actually what I threw away today is because I don't like it when there's a little bit more cauliflower included into the rice mix. And that
See how intricate it is.
That tends to stink. And I can smell that, and that's what I don't.
And
like.
is this the same stuff that she eats?
Oh yeah. She's actually trying to get. She's trying to lower my carb intake, and so she's including cauliflower into my rice now. And she's just trying to control me.
You're pretty thin. I don't know what you have to do to.
Yeah, you're real blobbo.
Yeah. Like, what is it? She's trying to get you down.
I snack a lot though. Like when we go home, I'm always eating.
I think she wants to get him down because she's already like super strong. I bet.
Yeah.
She just wants to lean him out to the point where she can like kill him.
Yeah,
overpower me.
Yeah, like push you in a bush or something.
Yeah. So back to superpower smell. Has it been a detriment in your entire life? Because I feel like it's the worst. Going back to the worst supervision, I feel like anybody would want, but
you'd have to be able to turn it off.
No,
because there's some things I don't want to see. Like if I had X-ray vision, like I don't want to like go to visit my Mima and then in the nursing home, but I can't turn my vision off. And everywhere I look, it's just a gray donger and black cancer moles and just stuff I shouldn't see. Bandages and blood.
You would just see their bones only. You know
well, how do you decide how far your X-ray vision goes?
That's it. That's as far as it gets. The X-ray is bones. That's it. There's nothing else.
But I want it backed off a little bit. When I was a kid, in the comic books, you could buy the X-ray specs, because I was on the tail end of that. It wasn't like it was like a big deal. Like my dad, they probably look at this, golly gee. I'd look in the back of the comic book, it would show X-ray specs. The guy that had them on was like looking through a girl's dress.
Yeah, but it didn't make any logical sense because they'd see through the dress to her underwear.
That's what I want. I wanted to stop there. I want limited X-ray specs.
You're like, how does it go just through the first layer of fabric? And
it's got a gate on it.
And then now the bra fabric is blocking the boobs, and then if you
you don't want it too powerful.
Too powerful, use your bones.
Yeah, just leave it on 30%. I don't want to see bones. I want to see bra.
What you want is to see through clothes, right?
Yes. Textiles.
Yeah. Just to work through textiles through nudity for borderline.
Yeah, but then see, there's
rapey
there's a lot of like,
rapey.
Also, if you're gonna wear X-ray specs, why did you put swirly twirlies on it? You put two giant swirly twirlies on it. So I'm walking around at the beach wearing my X-ray specs, trying to look through bathing suits, and I'm like,
they're attracting too much attention. Just give me some standard polarized lenses.
Don't make them overly big. Make them just look like Ray-Bans.
Just give me some Ray-Ban polarized. That's it.
I don't even want one swirly.
Don't give me the swirly eyes because everybody will know then. You're like, oh, look at my teeth. I'm like, no, I'm not. I see you. Your eyes.
It looks like two bullseyes swirling around.
So anyway, nobody wants extreme smell unless you're an animal. Then you have to track your
I don't even know
prey.
what I'm smelling half the time. Like, it stinks. I don't know what this is. Something stinks around
because
here. I can't identify it. I can't identify
been
the
like one
smell.
day that you've heated up your food where you've been like, that one's okay. Every other day it's been like, oh.
And you're smelling you're the one that smelled the doo-doo on my shoes the time I was tracking it around because of your super smell, which didn't, then you ended up having to clean it up. So
I told you, it's a double-edged sword.
We're like, you can smell it, so you clean it up.
Yeah, smelt that out then.
But even though it's on my shoe. I'm just saying, it's the worst superpower. Nobody wants extreme smell.
Well, they say poop rolls downhill. So
Is there any good to it? Like
what, super smell?
Unless you're in like the wilderness
Well, I mean,
or
like
an emergency.
like in your home, you smell fire.
I smelled the gas leak before we blow up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's rare though.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Well, not at the van house. I mean, a lot of gas leaks, a lot of gas lines.
yeah, that's true. But I can't even think of.
Oh my
one.
God, I just farted for 7 seconds.
So you're gonna smell it.
I smelt it a minute ago.
All right.
Okay.
We gotta take a break.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan right after this.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
And on the line with us right now via Skype, our resident cigarman, Chris Gwaltney. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
Good.
Again, you can go to thehumidor.com, use promo code Tom and Dan. When buying, you'll get a percentage off. And then we send a prize to people that use thehumidor.com. So we'll randomly pick a winner and then send the prize over.
We've been trying to send more and more prizes out.
Yeah, especially with the ABC. And again, if you go to ABC, use hashtag TDABC and send us those pictures. It really helps. So how you doing, Chris?
I'm good, man. How you guys been?
Good, it's we
Spending a lot of time at ABC.
yeah.
You and everybody else, bro.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
else. It's been crazy.
That's what I've been told. In fact, some of the stuff that I actually prefer to drink has been hard to find because so many people have had drinking time, especially like your lower ABV, like IPAs and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's interesting to say the least. I think it's safe to say that the brick and mortar on premise guys or off premise like us, the liquor store channel, did a pretty good job of absorbing all the bar business because it has absolutely been insane. So it'll be interesting to see how things kind of level off a little bit as bars and restaurants start to. I know the restaurants are open and the bars are start to get back on their feet again. It'll be interesting to see. I still think it's probably. I think people are still going to kind of cautiously go back to that.
Yeah.
I think one thing I've kind of noticed is people are pretty good at self-policing themselves for the most part. There's such a huge, like if you look at any post in social media or anybody posts something or starts a discussion on one of the social media platforms, half the people think we're crazy for opening up business and the other half think everything should be open. So you're already got half the population that's not going to go out if everything opens anyway. The people that think we should be locked down, for 6 months, and you got the guys that think we should have opened 3 weeks ago. So I think that's kind of I think it'll regulate itself, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if everything opened tomorrow, I think if Disney opened its gates tomorrow, they would probably have 25, 30, 40% occupancy. I think it'd be the best time in the world ever to go to Disney World.
Right.
Well, based on like what they do or what they are doing now in like China and stuff, I think they opened up with only selling like 25% capacity, and they sold out in like an hour, and then I think they sold out in the month in the next that day or whatever it is. But of course that's with like 25% capacity only. Probably similar to that, but yeah, you're right. It's people's level of concern. It varies so much that would probably help people slowly acclimating themselves to society again. But it's become so polarizing now, just like everything. It's so ridiculous that everything has to become political and polarizing, and then you have to be on one side or the other. It's like, my God, does every single opinion have to be one side or the other? It's insane.
No, and in all actuality, you should really just do whatever makes you comfortable as long as you're not injuring or hurting or putting other people at risk. You should just make yourself comfortable and make your family comfortable and do your best.
Well, speaking of that, I thought about this, Chris, with like cigar enthusiasts and cigar smoking because
I got to, dude, my block,
Yeah.
Every balcony is a cigarman except for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not. It's just never nothing. I appreciate it, and I just
just
don't know
never
that-
been that guy.
I tell you, these guys, it's literally like it's awesome. They're out there every night, a little bit of music, and they got their cigars going. It's great.
Chris, have you seen an uptick in like cigar purchases and like in the cigar world? Like because I saw a BDM, he went to ABC, bought himself a bunch of cigars.
He went crazy.
And he basically said that he's been smoking a premium cigar a night because he wants to enjoy life and he likes it.
Life's too short.
So have you seen that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, our cigar business is kept pace, if not outpaced some of our spirit sales. So
Wow.
Yeah, you're just seeing more and more people, turning their perfect example you were talking about, turning the balconies and their porches and into cigar lounges because you can't go to cigar bars. And the whole thing about cigars, the most important thing, and I think the thing that attracts most people to the cigar culture is the social aspect of cigars, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about smoking a cigar. I mean, you don't see cigarette social clubs. People go to places to smoke cigarettes. They'll smoke a cigarette anywhere just because they have to have it.
Well, the
Whereas
cigarette
cigars,
social
you
club
wanna
is
kinda enjoy a cigar with somebody and have a conversation and all that. So
yeah.
this whole isolation, the self-isolation thing that people have been asked to do, quarantine in place, whatever you want to call it, social distancing, which is a term I'm tired of hearing. That kind of goes against everything that is cigar culture. So people have found outlets, like I'm talking to you on Skype now. I have participated in all kinds of Zoom cigar meetings, smoking sessions, happy hours. There's a couple of different things that I do each week with folks inside the industry, outside the industry, where we smoke cigars and talk about stuff. So I think that's one of the positive sides of technology that we have today in social media is that people are able to still kind of communicate and congregate virtually, whereas what's normally something that's enjoyed in large groups and large numbers. So I think that's going to help the industry going forward. I do think that because of what's happened here and lounges having to be closed, I think the one positive from this is that people have found a new outlet, a new way to enjoy cigars virtually. So I think the Zoom and these types of interactions, whether it be with it's a way for a manufacturer or cigar maker to sit down and have a cigar with his people who are buying his product all over the world without having to go anywhere. So I think that's going to be one of the positive outcomes of this. But yeah, it's we've seen a huge increase in people buying, not obviously online. The humidor.com sales are better. We've broken every record that we've ever had before with cigar sales online. So people are buying cigars online, and then of course, people are coming into the stores here in Florida.
I mean, I've seen an uptick of the number of people that join me nightly on my OnlyFans. And
you've been making quite a bit of
I've
extra
been
money.
doing pretty good.
Yeah,
Although, if you'll excuse me, I left my pink wand in, and I must go remove it before Trucker 69 tips me, and I do the studio.
Yeah, I heard it. It sounded like a cell phone going off underneath the pillows.
Oh yeah, you know. Just stop tipping me, please. It hurts. At one point, it hurts.
So,
a roid rattler.
Chris, I remember the last time we talked to you, there was some concern about like the distribution chain and some of the factories, in South America and down there in the Dominican Republic and stuff, where like production has slowed down or stopped in a certain degree. Do you still think? I mean, how is that going? Have you heard word about any particular cigars maybe becoming rare?
You remember last time we were talking to Chris about the DR and me taking my family to the Nickelodeon resort there, and all of that got scrapped because they're not even open.
Yeah.
I haven't. It hasn't affected me from a purchasing standpoint. I'm still getting everything that I order, but that doesn't mean that there's not a disruption in the supply channel. What it could mean is I know some of these manufacturers are reallocating product that they had for other retailers or for other channels like traditional brick and mortar or cigar lounges, cigar bars.
Right. Yeah.
Since they're closed and they're not operating, then some of the product that was allocated for them is coming to me. I know some manufacturers have done that. They've reallocated product from closed channels into channels like mine, not just me, but other people in the liquor channel, other national chains and that sort of thing. So, but I haven't seen any disruption, but I know there's going to have to be issues, especially when everyone else starts operating again. When you go down for 30 days, we're probably going now into 40 to 45 days to 6 weeks. You're definitely going to have some growing pains as far as, because you're not producing and you can't go back and make up that time, So that's 30 days of people not rolling cigars. It's a handmade product. It's not like you can push a button and it spits out 1,000 cigars out of the machine. I mean, these things are rolled by hand. They take time. So, but right now we're okay.
Chris, have there been any technology or someone that maybe like it was their goal to invent a robot that could roll a perfect cigar? Like you see this happen where like robot.
Not cost effective.
Yeah, because I was gonna like robotics,
right.
like try to every once in a while there'll be a leap in technology where it's like, oh, we've manufactured a robot that can emulate human steps so perfectly that it has the fluid motion of a person walking, and then and then it'll have balance, and then have some guy kicking it over.
But a lot of and Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, in the rolling process, a lot of that is like eyesight and just knowing your plant and knowing what to do, right?
Yeah, it's feel, because everything's a little different. When they're bunching the cigar and they're looking at the tobacco, and every leaf's a different size. So you may, when you're doing the bunch, you may need another little piece of Ligero or another little piece of Seco or whatever to put in the leaf. And you kind of have to, it goes by feel and look, I need to put some more here. So you got to get the proper proportions. I just don't think there's any way a robot could do that. And why would we want that? There's literally been hundreds of science fiction movies that prove that this is a bad idea. Artificial intelligence stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, if the robots were going to take over, a cigar smoking robot would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool, right? Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna get my,
I'd rather be taken over by cigar smoking and making and rolling robots. That would be a little bit better society than Skynet, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris, do they do any cigar getaways where, like, if you're a cigar enthusiast, you go to, like, say, a Dominican Republic, and then you tour the factory, and then they teach you, and then you can roll. They do this with most things. You can roll your own cigar and smoke it.
And you get to keep it in a commemorative gift bag.
Or is it? I mean, could you roll a cigar? How hard is it?
It's very difficult. Anyone can roll a cigar, but is it going to be smokable or resemble a cigar when you're done with it? I mean, it takes most of the folks that are rolling these cigars, they spend months, learning just the basic craft of doing it over and all day long. They sit there and roll, practice until they're good enough, and then they start them out in something very easy to make. They may do mixed fill cigars. They'll do a very basic shaped cigar, and they'll do that for a while. I mean, it just really takes as muscle memory. You got to constantly do it to get it down. So you go in, yes, to answer your first part of your question, yes, there's these getaways you can go on. A lot of cigar manufacturers do it. Drew Estate does Cigar Safari. I know Perdomo does it. A lot of these guys will bring people down to their factory. Davidoff has Camp Camacho in Honduras. Christian Arroyo does one with CLE. So there's an opportunity for you to go visit. You don't have to be in the industry. You can buy a ticket as a consumer and go and visit these factories, and they advertise them. I know the slots fill up pretty quick. And there's also the cigar festivals I've talked about, like Pro Cigar in the DR.
Yeah.
There's Puro Sabor in Nicaragua. Then there's a Habanos Festival that's in Cuba. So there's different cigar things that you can do that a consumer can buy a ticket and go and immerse yourself in the process, and you can attempt to roll cigars. But it's some people actually do a pretty decent job the first time they do it. It just depends on your hand-eye coordination and your attention to detail and all that stuff. I usually find that women make better cigar rollers than men, just because they're a little bit more, have a little bit more dexterity, and
they're
they have
used to holding something that looks like that.
Yeah. So Me, I got these big ham hands, man. So I just like rip and tear the tobacco. I'm not. Really,
I'd probably be pretty good at it. I got little hands. I think I could roll a damn fine cigar.
Is there like some legend cigar roller that's like within the industry?
That's Cigar Jerry.
Well, I was thinking it's more of like a my fantasy. It's like some.
His name is the Matador.
Well, first, I think it would be a woman because Chris has said like women have better dexterity or like their hands are smaller. They could roll better cigars. But
She is the best. She is Mariposa.
yeah.
It means the moth. I
Like,
think. Does it? Or does that mean the butterfly?
It's like some Cuban meemaw that's blind that's been rolling cigars for 60 years. They could roll like 50 cigars in the time it takes one person to roll one. You know, like there has to be
you're right.
one like urban legend Cuban meemaw that can roll a better cigar like so perfectly that nobody can ever get close. Have you ever heard of that, or is it ridiculous?
No, it's not ridiculous. I can't really think of anybody by name that's like lives in the annals of history as the fastest, greatest cigar roller. But every factory, and for the most part, when you go into a factory, they kind of the hierarchy of quality of rollers. Usually, the best rollers are in the front, so you kind of start in the back and you work your way up to the front. It's not always the case, but that's traditionally how it was done.
That's what you do in like dancing, you know, like you put the good dancers in the front, and you put the bad dancers in the back. Some of our kids are going to be in the back,
right?
Yeah.
So, but traditionally, the better rollers, not so much are the ones that are going to roll more cigars. They're the ones that are going to roll the cigars that are much more difficult shapes. You know, the regular shape, double figurados. Cigars.
The double figurado.
I gave my wife a double figurado last week.
I know what that means. That's the one in the two in the pink, the stink, and the stink pink.
Got mad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, you're good, man. You're good. I'm digging.
It's fine. I'm never doing this again. I'm never Skyping it again.
I'm calling him. So yeah, it's based.
Well, Tom, way to suck the air out of it.
One double figurado joke. But yeah, it's based on the quality. And is there like like a test? Is there like a point? Like, you know, there's like a 10-point inspection with cars and things like that. Like when they leave the like I guess assembly line, do they go through a point inspection? They're like testing the how packed is it, what's the circumference,
the density.
Yeah. Is there something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And they do not get paid on. I mean, 99.9% of the factories. If you're a cigar roller, you get paid on how many quality cigars pass the inspection process. So if you roll 300 cigars a day and only 200 of them pass muster, that's what your pay is based on, the 200 that you roll correctly. So it's and the inspectors, they don't know whose cigar. It's all numbers, so it's not like you could, do a little kickback to the inspector to make sure all your cigars get past the goalie, so to speak. So I mean, it's all done by numbers and codes. So they're just looking at the sticks, and they're just discriminating based on whether it's a quality cigar or not, whether it's overfilled, underfilled, doesn't look right, isn't rolled properly, that sort of thing.
Huh.
So, and like I said, tobacco, from the time it comes out of the field to the time it gets to where it's going to be made into a cigar, every time that tobacco is touched, it's going through some sort of quality check and sorting process to make sure to sort it by quality, color, size, all those things. So, and that's every step of the way. So certainly at the end, when they are rolled and into cigars before they go into the aging room, which is pre-packaging, they are scrutinized. And once that process is done, months down the road, when those cigars are taken out of the aging room and to be put into boxes, they're all dumped out on a white table, with bright light, so they can see any kind of imperfections in the cigar. And at that point in time, if they notice anything, or if there's a couple of cigars in there that the color differentiates a little bit, maybe they're a little bit darker, then they will make sure that every cigar in each box is the same shade of color, because sometimes you can have a light variation in color. Because I mean, it's tobacco and it's the same leaf, the same plant, but it's a natural product, so it could the tint and the color could be a little bit darker or lighter in the same cigar.
I was going to ask you a really stupid question.
Plant-based thing.
Yeah, because we're almost out of time, but I always try to save at least one stupid question for the end. But has anybody ever tried to dabble with coloring cigars?
Yeah, because make them
packaging and aesthetics are
pink,
always
purple.
Yeah, has anybody ever tried to do that, or is that so stupid that no one would ever attempt to do that because it just would never fit like in the cigar world?
You mean like dyeing the wrapper?
Yeah, like
the
having
cigar itself purple.
Yeah, or like
there's
naturally
all kinds of
dyeing it.
crazy packaging.
Yeah,
the cigar itself, like have a blue cigar, something abnormal. Like every cigar we've ever seen is a like tobacco brown. You know?
Right. I can't recall that. But you will see people do some things with different leaves, like barber pole, where they'll take like it would be a dark Maduro leaf cigar, and they'll take like a really light Connecticut leaf and like wrap it or put stripes on it. I've seen people make like a football, do the little laces, and you can get real decorative with other tobacco on there. But I've never seen anyone really dye the tobacco
pink cigars.
purple with blue. But I can ask for you guys if you guys would like a blue cigar. We'll see
Pink. 2 pink cigars, please.
2 bright pink cigars.
There we go.
Yeah, and then I hope that's the way they're like. No one's ever thought of this. People love
genius. They love pink cigars.
Or we're a bunch of idiots.
Or they run us out of town.
That's more likely.
Well, anything you need to tell people, give us some rundown. Anything new on the site that cigar lovers can take advantage of right now?
Man, if you're not signed up and you're not getting emails from us, you really need to do it, man. We're running. I can't even keep up with all the promotions. We lock them in a couple months out, so I don't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
But every week I'm turning in picking 5 or 6 different brands or boxes or specials, and we do them, and man, they're crazy. They're limited time kind of. We do flash sales where particular families, you get another 20% off. So we're doing some really cool stuff. So if you're not signed up and we don't have your email, make sure you do that, because you're missing out on some really good deals. And sometimes when they're gone, they're gone. So that's about it, man. Just like I said, we're cranking. Right now we haven't really had a whole lot of supply issue. Right now we're pretty good with product, but like I said, that could change.
Sure.
But right now we're looking pretty good.
Awesome. Again, that's thehumidor.com. Use promo code Tom and Dan, and you'll get a percentage off and possibly a gift. Chris Gwaltney, thanks so much for Skyping in today.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the time.
We'll
all right, cool, man. Thank you.
We'll talk to you next month. All right.
All right, man.
All right.
see
You
ya.
guys be good. That is our buddy Chris from thehumidor.com.
I wish I had a beard like Chris.
Yeah.
People would take me more serious.
Would they, though? Because you'd still have your face and hair. And I feel like it would look really weird.
I need to have his entire body.
Yeah,
that sounded weird.
I need to have his pink cigar in my mouth right now. Let's take a break. When we come back, the multitude of just voicemails after voicemails.
All right.
People are bored, man.
I know.
And I feel like it's up to us to make them even more bored.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. We'll try.
We'll be right back with more A Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Let's, you all right, buddy?
Yeah, I was just reading the Double Rainbow guy passed away. Sad news. His name is Vasquez.
His name was Vasquez.
Well, his last name, Paul Vasquez.
Paul Vasquez. Shout out to Paul Vasquez, the Double Rainbow Man.
The guy, did Tosh make him, or it was already a viral video?
He was more of a viral video guy. Was that real?
Yeah. It was like a nature lover. Like the actual video was legit, or as far as like he wasn't doing it just to get a viral video out there, I think.
Yeah.
But he didn't make that much money off it. In the story I was reading, said it like when they interviewed him in 2016, I guess he had made just $6,000 a year. That's not good.
Well, I mean, it's $6,000 more than you didn't have.
Well, I think that's just
that's
his total income.
Yeah, but was he really trying to? Like,
No. I don't even know if he made that off. I don't think he made that off the video. That's just what he makes a year.
I
He's
thought
like
you were
homeless. He's basically homeless. I think.
Okay. A lot of our best viral videos are homeless people.
Yeah. Well,
if you give them homes,
give the most content.
Yeah, well, if you give them homes, then they'll lose that. It's almost like Nirvana's record Nevermind. would never have been the masterpiece that it is had they not been up and coming, right?
Yeah.
If they already had the mansion, you'd get something different.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some voicemails. Let's try. I've got a bunch that just came in this morning. Let's try this one right here and see what this guy has to say.
Drunk and rambling BDM Nels from Minnesota here. I'll try to keep it quick, hopefully. I'm considered an essential worker. We make banners and stamps and stuff for hospitals and stuff like that. So I've been working, and it's been stressful because 80-90% of our staff is cut. I get home today, forgot that I had drunkenly ordered a hat and a T-shirt from you guys, and I had taken tomorrow off, so I got a nice long 3-day weekend, and that was in front of my door, and I came home. You guys kicked my weekend off great. The hat's awesome, and I can't have enough of your shirts. Not only are they awesome shirts with the graphics, but my gosh, the fabric, whoever you guys are working with for that, it's fantastic. Thank you. I know I bought it, but thank you. It was a great surprise because I forgot I ordered it when I was drunk. But love you guys, and play it or not, I just wanted you guys to know this. Peace out.
Well, we consider ourselves heroes, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
we only work with the best fabrics. We have the best fabrics.
We have the greatest fabrics.
We have the best fabric manufacturers out there. We handpick the fabrics and Tom Dan quality fabric.
Guaranteed. 100%, 101%.
We just
It's the same crap that every other T-shirt's made out of.
Yeah.
Like this shirt, this is one of ours. Chances are anybody that one of my favorite things. Hold on, this is one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. This is you want me to kill some fun? I'll kill some fun.
Yeah.
I hate it when people roll out 2 or 3 T-shirt designs and then they start telling people they have a clothing line.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I hate that.
I will tell you that
I love it.
some of my Miami friends started to dabble in this,
Yes,
and
yes.
I held myself back from making fun of them.
We have a clothing line.
Yeah. It's this happened down in Miami, and they'd be mad if they heard it. None of them listened.
Ride or Die 305.
And
.com.
it was something similar, like a couple friends. Some I know well, some are friends adjacent.
Yeah.
And they got together and they started releasing this, and they started claiming it was a clothing line. And I was like, I got on there, yeah, I'm about to get ready to make fun of it. And then my wife stopped me. She's like, don't hate things that
Don't
people
crap on their dreams.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And so then I stopped myself, and then I had to be like, "Cool shirt, bro." But I wanted.
Hey,
to,
do you want one of my clothing lines called Young
Yeah.
and Zany?
Yeah. It's something that me and Daniel have always kind of made fun of. Now, there's a lot of people that start successful apparel companies like
Well,
this.
they usually
but it's
branch out from T-shirt. You know?
The thing is,
We do T-shirts and hats.
yeah.
But we're certainly not a clothing line or an apparel company.
Yeah, and here's the basics of it. So I don't know much about the apparel business, but we do know about making merch to sell.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing it for 10 years.
We
right?
have.
So all the T-shirts, I imagine, are manufactured in China, and all the brands. And now,
But they are the best quality.
we will tell you that that back 11 years ago when we started doing this, we would constantly make fun of other giant corporations that would manufacture T-shirts in bulk to give out or to sell, usually just to give out, like radio station promotions and stuff, because they were the cheapest.
Corporations notoriously go for the cheapest option, which is going to be your Gildans.
Yeah, and nothing against Gildan. And now Gildan makes a very soft option.
They had to.
It's more expensive, but usually the cheapest possible
I like
shirt.
a Hanes beefy tee.
the cheapest possible shirt you can get was this real rough Gildan shirt, and you can get them for a sub $4, $3, even into the $1.90.
The white ones are $1.90.
If you order them in extreme bulk. And so what happened is these big beer companies and radio stations across the entire country would get these these super cheap shirts in huge bulk orders to give away. But what happened is you'd give them away, and they'd be a single color print in a rough shirt.
XL, and it's shaped like a square.
Yeah, and then the
you put it
neck
on,
hole,
you look like SpongeBob.
and then people would just wash their car with them or punt them in the trash or just use them as garage rags. So no one would actually wear the shirt, which is what it was intended to do, to advertise whatever the garbage you were advertising.
But why would I wear it? It's horrible.
Yeah, exactly. So when we started making shirts, we asked Enemy.
The sleeves are down to my wrists.
Yeah, we've been using Enemy Ink the whole time we've been a company, and they said, well, you can get a nicer style shirt. It's going to be more expensive, and our view was, well, if we just wanted people to
we
wear
hate
it.
money.
There's that, and we were like, well, even if it's more expensive, we'll make less profit, but people will wear the shirt more often, thus helping us market our show or the getting the logo out there or whatever. That seemed more important than the profit margin because we're not an apparel company. Then, okay, so going back to apparel companies, everybody makes their stuff in China, even the stuff that we, like our hats, that are straw hats. That's like a South or a West Palm Beach company, SA.
But they source it out.
They get all the hats made in China and then the patches. But I think maybe they put some of the pieces together here locally, or they just source it all out from China. And that's usually how everything works. Whatever, even if you think you're working with a local company, they're getting everything from China. Like everybody does. That's how business is done nowadays.
Pretty much, yeah.
And as much as people hate that, it's what it's evolved into. And I don't think that's changing anytime soon because it's already too big to, what are you going to start opening manufacturing facilities here locally? What for what? No business is going to be like, oh, I'm going to pay $8 a koozie.
Well, we've had the option and stuff that we've ordered. Something as simple as like,
it's 10 times more expensive.
Those little bands that, we had.
Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, the Lance Armstrong, like Live Strong bracelets. We did like some brown ones and we did some green ones with funny sayings on them years ago, and they would give you the option to get them made in the USA, and like if we got them done in China, I want to say they were like 27 cents a piece or something. It's something ridiculously
I think it was
cheap.
13 or less.
Yeah, it was like really cheap, but if you got them done in America, they ended up like right under $1 a piece.
Yeah.
It was a lot more.
Yeah, 5 times the amount or whatever, and that's just the reality of it. So anytime you start an apparel company, all it really is you designing the logo, all the apparel and everything. I mean, and now locally printed, like Enemy Ink prints our stuff, but all the garments they get, I imagine, are from China. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but I assume
Or different parts of the world, yeah, sure.
They're made in a different place and just shipped.
Turkey,
and then
Haiti.
the printing is done here, unless I bet you, like when you're talking about printing like 100,000 shirts, that's also done in China. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're talking about orders of that magnitude. Although Enemy does like they'll do like Disney World and Corona or different like big beer, and they'll do.
Don't say Corona.
They'll do like thousands, but maybe when you get into the multiple hundreds of thousands, you know that was done in a different country. I bet
probably. Let's keep going. Here is one about bath showers.
Yeah, Aaron from Altamont checking in again. Listening to Thursday's ACT, you guys are talking about baths and showers and all that nonsense. Baths are gross, I will agree with that, but I found a solution for the bath situation. If you want to have a really nice bath, fill the bathtub up, get in, submerge yourself, then stand up and get your loofah or your washcloth if you're a maniac, and soap yourself up, stand up out of the water, soap yourself up, get yourself all cleaned up, get back down in the water, and it's going to get all cloudy and nasty because, you're basically stewing in your own juices when you're taking a bath. But then just empty the fucking tub and then refill it, and then you're like already clean, and you can sit in there for 30, 40 minutes. You can smoke a joint. You can.
Okay.
Well, I assume
we're still doing the same thing, right?
Also, why even fill? Well, first you're wasting an insane amount of water. And that's coming from my wife. I don't care, but my wife does.
You know, I don't care. Andrea yelled at me last night. I'll just turn a sink on and just leave the room.
Oh, Crystal would kill you.
But what?
She has in her mind.
It'll even out.
Dude,
it'll even out.
If I turn the sink on and even I have to wash individual dishes, I can't leave the sink on when I'm washing the dishes. I have to sink on, wash the sink off.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wash.
Well, that's insane.
That's what I said. That's the life I live.
That's insane.
Everything.
That would take an hour to wash dishes.
That's my life. I can't
sir.
leave the sink on.
I
brushing
run
our
the
teeth.
dishwasher with it open.
Just wet a little, and then wet the brush my teeth, and then.
No.
She's a water Nazi.
I can't. Well, what about showers though? Does she take a long shower?
Well, she yells at me. I don't even. How do I even know? I don't gauge what anybody does around me.
That's
so
true.
I have no idea what.
What
anybody
about your boys?
Oh yeah.
Long tub bath, but they fill it up a little bit and then.
Yeah. But when they take a shower, I'll leave them in there. I'm like, the longer they're in there, the longer they're not bothering me, and I can surf my phone. But
are we running out of water?
That's what I asked this on a show, and if you look on the internet, it says we are. Like, Florida's a water shortage.
And washing one dish at a time means how much... I want to see some numbers.
Yeah, that's what I said. Because she got mad at me for because we got dual shower heads now, and I like to turn them both on.
Yes, you said you were going to do that.
And then I'm standing there.
What's the point of only having two if you only run one?
Well, because she says the two is for both of us in there, not for both on you. And I'm like, well, I'm paying because also I pay for it in my water bill. My water bill is $210 a month. It's insane.
That's expensive.
And I have no idea why.
What's that leak? I chopped your pipe. I was at your house. I chopped all your pipes.
It's something. I mean, it's constantly the dishwasher, the washer. Anyway, but I'm like, well, I'm paying for it. So if you're charging me, what's the difference between this or if I just dumped Mountain Dew on my head? I'm paying. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying for it. And then she's like, no, you're ruining the environment. And then I have to go back down to one like an animal.
Have you been in there together to use both?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But I'd still use both. I just don't tell her.
Yeah.
And then if I hear her coming,
you slap it.
Yeah, hide it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I looked up, is there a water shortage? Of course it says yes, there is. But it's seemingly...
Yeah, thank you, Grady, in the Twitch chat room. I drove past the beach yesterday, plenty of water out there.
That's what I said. It's raining all the time.
Yeah, it's been raining crazy.
I could turn on my faucet and then it'll never run out, I don't think.
Yeah.
I could just leave it on
I can
forever.
leave it on all night, right?
Yeah.
I want to know
forever.
If I left it on all night, what did I do wrong? How many birds or fish did I kill?
Yeah.
What did I do?
You're just paying for it. It goes back into the system, and that's what you're paying for. You're paying for them to clean it and then pump it back out or whatever they do. Who knows?
Oh, somebody in the Twitch chat room, Night Knoll, says, Tom, you're on that Castleberry water. They charge too much. I have insider information. Don't start that again.
Oh, yeah.
He waged a war with him years ago, and I thought you guys had a formal or informal truce.
Well, the lady...
Didn't she make you rip up the paper in the
the
street or something and then declare your love to her or something?
No, in her office. She made me sign the... proclamation that I wanted to be annexed to Castleberry, and then I ripped it up in front of her, and then it was this weird political thing.
It was almost like she made you do like some sort of ceremony.
She was like, "Don't talk about it.
Cut me with the dagger."
But that was so long ago. She was an elected official or something. So I don't think she's still working there. Who knows? But I think
could be dead.
They dropped that, and now Castleberry no longer wants to annex our neighborhood into it. Because we're technically Maitland address, but they wanted it to be Castleberry. Apparently,
you got your wish. You're Maitland now, man.
They wanted it's always been Maitland.
Maitland strong. We're all in this together, Maitland.
But if it's Castleberry's right there. It's like a street. It's like when you're on the border of Mexico, and then technically
it's the Floribama.
Yeah. You might as well be Mexico. You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, you're only a donkey's tail away.
Mexico's right there. Everybody's Mexican in this town. You're Mexican. Yeah. Even though technically you're in the United States.
You're Mexican.
Too close.
Let's do this one.
So I'm listening to Best of, I believe it's Corporate Time, and you're talking about the Weirdo Wednesday. And Tom mentioned that everyone or every Floridian has a formaldehyde, some kind of creature. When I was a kid, I had a formaldehyde scorpion in a jar.
Yeah.
And it was a scorpion that stung my pinky toe while I was making my bed in the morning. Stung my pinky toe, stung it good, real good, and swelled up bigger than my big toe. We called an ambulance or the fire rescue or whatever. I don't remember. I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. I was fucking screaming. And they were mad. They were mad that we called them because apparently scorpions aren't deadly. I don't know, but I sure as hell thought I was gonna die. Fucking scorpion stuck me in the toe in my bed. So yeah, thought that was funny, interesting. Anyways, bye.
Never been bitten by a scorpion.
Me neither. The only time I've ever seen a scorpion, and I've seen them multiple times, is Peace River, and never down south. Like, I'm never in Miami or the Everglades.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a bunch out there, and I was too young to remember, but I saw a bunch camping at Peace River, and like tiny scorpions, and they're amazing when you see them in the wild. You're like, wow! Like, it was like, I didn't think.
They got a lot of parts.
Yeah.
They got a lot of little. What are they? Their abdomen. The way that like insects. They have that ectoskeleton armory.
Yeah. They're cool.
Yeah, they are very, very cool. Maisie was gifted some beetles from our friend Christine in the Twitch chat room, and it's like her prized possession now. They've been like
mounted
in like a glass box that she can take to school. When school becomes school.
Yeah.
And they're really neat. And she's obsessed with like bugs. So we try to play up on that. We found a caterpillar yesterday, but like one of those ones that looks exactly like the Alice in Wonderland caterpillar.
Yeah.
Big and fat and green and looks like a quilted sausage with big black eyeballs.
My Tommy was the other day over the weekend. He had this little bug catcher that looks like scissors, plastic scissors with a dome on each side.
Yeah.
And then it just clamps together to make a full total dome, that catch
cool.
bugs or whatever. And he picked up the thing and was like, I'm going to go catch some bugs. And I was happy because normally it's like, let's watch YouTube or like play inside.
Yeah.
So I just walked around and followed him.
Oh, it's fun.
He tried to catch some love bugs and then just squishing crazy.
Yeah, you kill them all.
Yeah, I was totally fine with them. I'm like, get it.
Maisie just murders lizards. She just grabs them, and then when she squeezes them, their guts just fly out of their mouth. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
She's like, what's wrong with him? I'm like, he's very unhappy. Put him in the grass.
Yeah, it's fine. There's plenty more where that came from.
Just go wash your hands.
But I like when my son usually don't do it, but Tommy like exploring around the outside of my
place. One of
place.
these bug domes. Yeah, bug time. We do a lot of bugs, but then May brings them inside, and then they get dropped, and then they're flying around the house, Yeah, but she's like any type of bug. She's trying to catch a wasp out on the balcony. I'm like, you can't catch that one.
That
was my fault from Animal Crossing.
My sons are still afraid of the scary bugs.
Oh yeah,
they'll get a love bug, anything like that. But spiders, wasps, bees, terrified.
Yeah. Let's try. Let's end on this one. How about this guy?
All right. So also, this might be obvious, and maybe you guys have already addressed this a whole bunch, but you guys have kind of switched places. You and Tom and Dan, at least. I mean. Because even, what was it, the email hate you were getting, Dan, about Maisie not wearing pads, and you're just kind of like, whatever, didn't respond, and Tom's getting all freaked out, and it's just kind of funny, and maybe you guys already planned this, and I'm just falling right into the trap.
Well, we ebb and flow sometimes.
Yeah, that was in the script that week. We write
this entire show is scripted by Remy and Butler.
I don't say it's an odd choice.
Well,
but
Butler's been writing for us for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
And Remy was brought on at the end of last year.
Yeah.
To try and punch up some of Butler's scripts because his alcoholism.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of people don't know. We say weed, but it's alcohol.
No, he comes to work every day just loaded.
Yeah, he's peach schnapps, and we found the bottles around.
I find him everywhere.
Yeah. If he doesn't drink, he'll have a seizure.
Yeah, he's kind of like any Indiana basketball coach.
Yeah. He,
big red puffy face, and so we brought Remy in to kind of punch up some of his.
And the scripts haven't been that good.
Well, Butler was the reason why he created the character of Lee, who was on the program, which was kind of like bringing Andy into the office when they knew that Michael Scott was going to be exiting at some point.
It worked for a couple years, but then you're like, you're no Michael Scott.
Yeah, I miss Michael.
You're a hangover, one tooth missing man.
Who everybody seems to hate you for no reason.
Yeah, I know.
You just seem like a douche.
I know, but yeah, you're right.
You know what used to make me mad about his character on The Office? Even though I enjoyed his character on The Office, every time he would talk about singing in the barbershop quartet and he would start singing, I would get mad.
You know, because he can really sing and play like instruments, so he wants to work that in.
Yeah.
But they do that.
They did it with Daryl and it worked though.
Yeah.
Because it was more natural.
Yeah. This seemed like he tried to shoehorn that in there.
Put the barbershop quartet in.
Yeah, I guess so I could show off my singing.
He's doing it again.
Didn't he get mad? What's the actor's name again?
Zach Galifianakis?
No. Him, like
Ed Helms?
Ed Helms. Didn't he get mad at Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover for not like learning his lines?
Yeah, if you listen to the behind the scenes, I have it on Blu-ray. It was one of the first, when Blu-ray first came out, The Hangover was
Blu-ray?
I know, right?
2008?
Yeah, I haven't used it in forever, but when Blu-ray came out, that was the way we were going to watch movies, or at least, the proper way to watch movies. The Hangover came out. I bought it. There's a director's commentary on there. And Ed Helms and Zach Galifianakis are not very friendly in it. At least it was my take. Like when you're watching it, and there's some comments in there. Like they barb a little bit, and it's weird. It's uncomfortable. It's almost like...
Because Ed Helms seems like he's a traditional actor that's worked on the craft for a long time, and Galifianakis is a stand-up turned actor, and he probably went a different route or took it a little less maybe serious.
Well, you can tell he's doing the shtick on the commentary, and it's really funny, but it seems like Ed doesn't want to play.
Yeah, he wants to make serious.
I want to do a serious commentary. Nobody cares about it. It's a Hangover, you douche.
Yeah. You want to play it like inside the actor studio. Is like, what's your inspiration for
in this scene? Well, when I was getting the Tyson tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough
is enough.
It's a comedy movie, like Galifianakis. He's like,
he was
whatever.
doing what he should do.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get out of here. TomandDan.com for all things Tom and Dan. Anything else, buddy?
That's it.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.